Hey guys, we have a couple things that we need to talk about today. For one, we have the sun entering the sign of Sagittarius. This is putting a greater emphasis on both Jupiter and the Sagittarius vibes generally because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. This is expansion, this is optimism, hope, trust, faith, positive outcomes, and things are slowly starting to shift in our favor. Things should generally be working out pretty well now and moving forward throughout this next couple of weeks. But it's interesting because as the sun moves into Sagittarius today and really starts to put this emphasis on these Sag vibes that are coming in right now, simultaneously we are also in some very ending closeout type of energy. We are in the last day of our Scorpio cycle. We are in the last day of our eclipse season. We have the moon in a conjunction to the south node today, all about the past and ending. So there may be sort of an emphasis on both things from the past and new beginnings today as well. We are closing doors and we are starting a new chapter. We are walking away and cutting loose ends and separating ourselves from things from the past, closing out some periods of time, and we are on the brink of a totally new cycle. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Let's get into this chart, you guys. Let's see how this energy is coming together for us and what we may be able to experience and what we may be able to anticipate in our experience on the ground today. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. If you guys stick with me till the end of the report, we are also going to be looking at a collective tarot reading for the day as well, just so that we can tap the field for more than one modality and get a better, more well-rounded overview of what's playing out for us on a vibrational level today. Very significant numerology that we have going on today, though, and I think it's so funny that it also happens to be a Tuesday when we have all of these twos playing out, and we're in an 11 month, which is also a 2, if it breaks down, but it is this master number. There's a lot in the vibrational field today that I feel like is emphasizing these 2 year vibes, you guys. If you've been following my channel, if you've been with me as we've been going through this transition into the age of Aquarius for any period of time, we've been talking about throughout the course of this year this 222 energy, the numerological significance associated with the year 2022, and this is a pretty rare numerological energetic imprint that we have going on this year. And the number 222, it's all about divine harmony, essentially, across the board, however that plays out, and it comes down to fulfillment and a mirrored reflection of what any specific soul truly needs and resonates to on that soul level to experience a form of harmony, balance, fulfillment, and alignment with divine truth and the highest levels and the highest octaves of things. This 222 energy is divine harmonization, divine balance, and as a result of that, divine union as well. And therefore it also translates into this soulmate energy and this divine counterpart energy and all this type of beautiful, lovely stuff. But I've been feeling throughout the course of this 2022 year, in the context of our transition into the age of Aquarius and everything else that's been going on, it has been working to recalibrate our personal vibration in such a way so that we are actually more grounded in that authentic truth of what our soul needs to feel fulfilled, so that as time goes on and as this cosmic story unfolds and plays out, we are a more exact embodiment of what we need to truly feel fulfilled, so that we are much more likely and able to actually magnetize that into our lives, whether it be, in terms of a career or career profession or partnerships or friendships or relationships, all the various dynamics of the external world that we relate to. I feel like this 222 year energy has been trying to refine us down into a much more purified version of ourselves that is in touch with ourselves, so that we can bring in these opportunities and these connections, these partnerships and relationships that are a much better reflection of who we actually are, what we actually need, what we actually want, so that they can bring this sense of fulfillment and harmony and balance. Whereas, in the past, we may have been attracting and magnetizing relationships that were based on a faulty perception of self, or some type of image that we were trying to maintain, or some type of cultural or familial standard that we were, aligning ourselves with, but maybe was kind of foreign to like our own personal truth. I feel like a lot of what this year up until this point in time has been leading us towards and has been about is this process of really getting in touch with the truth of our heart, and therefore how, understanding ourselves better and what we want and what we like, and redefining our preferences. What I've been talking about this past Mercury retrograde cycle, this had a lot to do with Mercury and Venus in a mutual reception together. If you guys remember, we had Mercury in Libra and we had Venus in Virgo, and then Mercury retrograded and they did a little switch and they were conjoined. And this Mercury retrograde period I felt like was very, very much like a major part of it was about helping us to redefine and reevaluate our preferences and our desires. And then, here we are in this heading in towards the Sagittarius cycle in the last day of our Scorpio season, you guys. When Venus was eclipsed, for our new moon in Scorpio, this Scorpio cycle this year, which was also an eclipse because we're also in eclipse season, Venus, the planet ruling love and beauty and like images also and facades and, what we need to do to keep the peace and balance and things like on a more surface level was also eclipsed. And that was indicating a period where, we were really going to be put up against or in contact with the deeper aspects and dimensions of ourselves and of our desires and like of our own personal truth and our heart in a lot of ways. And in combination with this Venus Mercury mutual reception that we had with Mercury retrograde and the reevaluating our preferences generally, that was a major dynamic of both the September, the Virgo cycle, and the Libra cycle as well. Then moving into the Scorpio cycle where Venus is eclipsed, and again we have another opportunity to really get in alignment with the truth and the depth of our heart. And then here we go. Here we are today, moving into the Sagittarius cycle. Venus and Mercury once again conjunct in the sky. They had their exact to the minute conjunction yesterday. They've been traveling together for a couple of days. Sign of Sagittarius, this is about truth. This is about expansion. This is us coming to a point where we are ready to expand into these truths in the context of realizing on a mental level what it is and where we're at and like who we are and what we value and how we want to relate. It's like we've been recalibrated on the level of the heart at this point in time. And now with this Sagittarius energy coming in, Mercury and Venus yet again conjunct. And here they are on the sign of Sagittarius with the sun moving into Sagittarius today, the day before our new moon in Sag. As we're closing out our Scorpio cycle, I just feel like this is putting a very big emphasis on this 222 energy, what I was talking about, bringing it back to that and recalibrating and rediscovering and realigning with the truth of what it is that we want, what it is that we desire, what brings us that sense of fulfillment and like true harmony and true balance on these very deep and internal levels. Everything that this 222 year numerology has been sort of indicating as this energy has been playing out, and as we are coming to the end of 2022, here we are on this like ultimate 222 day, and it also happens to be a Tuesday, and simultaneously it is the last day of the Scorpio cycle, the last day of this eclipse season. Remember, we also have the North Node, speaking of our eclipse season, in the sign of Taurus right now, which is also ruled by Venus, which is trying to take us on a path and a direction and an evolutionary trajectory and like this growth, this path of growth that is helping us to discover the truth of our value. And again, like what we value and the truth of our resources and our ability and our talent and our potential, and what we will and we won't sacrifice or surrender our power to anymore as a result of how we want to relate to others and these new preferences that we're discovering again. And it's all coming back to this new understanding essentially of our own value and of our own worth and of our own preferences, wants, wishes, desires, all of that type of stuff. And that I feel like just to like bring it back around again is playing right into this 222 numerology. And I just find it very interesting today that we have this very significant day with these numbers sort of on blast, and we also have these aspects going on talking about like we are moving out of our old vibrations in terms of how we related to our own heart center, and we are moving into a much more expanded and evolved version of that. And it's so interesting as well, the actual position of Mercury and Venus in conjunction today for our grand 222 day of this year, 9 degrees of Sagittarius, that Sabian symbol is a mother leads her child step by step up a stairway. So this is also talking about this progression and this evolution and this maturation and moving, taking the next step in like a process of personal growth or expansion somehow. So I feel like this is indicating that as we are closing out our Scorpio cycle today, we have come to the end of a period of time where we were really being maybe pitted up against some hard truths about ourselves or our relationships or the various partnership dynamics in our lives and stuff like that generally, in order to help us really get a better understanding of our own core vibration. And now we are there and we are ready to like sort of take the next step. And really in alignment with that, like Mercury and Venus together in the sign of Sagittarius. This is like some very big truths in regards to our heart and our mind, that our heart and our mind are simultaneously very much on the same page about. So that is really the general where we're at, kind of like I feel like right now. It's sort of like a bridge day to me. We are exiting one energy today. We are about to go into another energy. We're also in a balsamic moon phase right now, which is, making wishes, setting intentions. We are about to be in the new moon energy tomorrow, which is the seed planting phase. This is also, because of this south node energy, moon conjuncting the south node today, things from the past may be coming up. This is like the final resolutions or going through things like one last time, or finally coming to a point where we're ready to move on or to let something go. But we are making our way out of the underworld. Today is our last step out of the shadows. I feel like it's been a lot. It's been really deep and it's been really intense. We are closing the doors to the past in a lot of ways. We are taking, this is like our last step, off the bridge into a new vibration that is coming with all of this Jupiter energy. This is closing out a darker and more difficult chapter and opening into blessings, hope, and the return of faith, trust, confidence, and freedom that Sagittarius, and there's a very strong emphasis on Jupiter, this Sagittarius cycle. I mean, Sagittarius is always the cycle that is ruled by Jupiter and is about, expansion and optimism and hope and faith, and just can be a more jovial time of year and stuff like that. But this year specifically, because of what's going on with Jupiter is stationing direct on the day of the new moon, and the new moon itself in a trine to Jupiter for Jupiter's month, Jupiter's season. This is just really indicating that there are some blessings that are underway. Well-deserved gifts, blessings, and rewards are likely to come in over the next few weeks, and we will truly have a lot to be grateful for, even if we don't necessarily see it right now in this energy. Although I feel like a lot of this stuff is probably for a lot of people who aren't being hardcore impacted by the Mars-Neptune square, I will say that. But a lot of people are already feeling this, or already dealing with the vibe shift that has been going on, and this more influx of the uplifting, news and good ideas, and just feeling a sense of lightheartedness and freedom and optimism and hope about things, or just some fortunate things occurring, a definite change from the way things might have been over this past couple of months coming in. And it has already started, and it's going to continue, you guys, throughout the course of this next several weeks. But like I was saying, the second thing, aside from the sun entering the sign of Sagittarius today, which is, we do have Venus there and we do have Mercury there as well. So this is definitely helping things to go in a better direction. But we do have the moon in Scorpio today, where it started when we had our new moon in Scorpio, but coming into a conjunction with the south node. This is the past. This is what we're releasing ourselves from. This is what we're letting go of. This is, what we need to move away from and walk away from at this point in time. So this could indicate, though, with the moon there, things from the past that are coming up today as we are in this last day. It's sort of the final things that we need to deal with in order to truly move on and shift in alignment with what is coming next, maybe things that we're sort of navigating in this energy today. The moon in Scorpio conjunct the south node. We are ending eclipse season, and the sun today also is at 1 degree of Sagittarius. That Sabian symbol is retired army veterans gather to reawaken old memories. So there's lots of energy going on today. We've got the south node, like I said, and the moon conjunction. We are in the last day of this Scorpio cycle that is this cycle of endings, is the cycle about the past because of the south node and this eclipses as well. And then we also have the sun at that degree literally talking about gathering to reawaken old memories. Lots of energy today referencing and possibly bringing up past people, things, relationships for sure. Remember, with Mercury and Venus together, this is also talking about relationships. This is like proclaiming our love or saying how we feel or just like expressing affection, or because we're talking about Sagittarius, this is, or, just saying the truth of our heart in one way or another. This is us speaking our truth about how we really feel about things, what we really want, what we really desire. But lots of people possibly talk about relationships and past people, events, things that have gone on. A more maybe nostalgic feel maybe coming through in this energy today as well, but emphasis on past relationships as well. And it could actually be, there's like two sort of ways that I see that this energy may be playing out today. On one hand, it could actually be resolving like long-standing issues or conflicts or separations that have been like just persisting between people, kind of bringing things or people back together, like like I said, like resolving long-standing issues. This is something that could be coming through in the dynamic today, like bringing an end to conflicts or separations, especially if they were based in any type of original misunderstanding or misinterpretation, or just like something being lost in translation somehow, or somebody being under some type of an illusion or a delusion or a fantasy about something. On one hand, this could definitely restore the balance in relationships where there had been some type of schism because of some type of like faulty perception about something. On the other hand, though, this could also be bringing this final closure or this resolution to these situations that are like just totally expired in this energy and that we are just totally over with. This is the stick a fork in it, like I'm done type of energy. Also, so that's sort of how I'm seeing it. Like on one hand, things and like split separations, conflicts between people that are not meant to withstand. There may be some type of bridging back together in this energy for like a new beginning or just a refreshed, like, just a healing the relationship somehow. But on the other hand, things that are meant to be over, that are meant to be complete, that have run their course, this is where we are stepping out of that and closing the door behind us as well. Venus and Mercury together. This is also a very significant aspect that we have going on in the sky right now. One thing for sure that we are probably, like I said earlier, talking about relationships and finances also. There could be a lot of money talk going on right now, like things about like love languages, resources, romance. With the moon opposite the north node as well, we could be talking about like food or supplies or material comforts, material pleasures, our projects that we want to work on as well. But with this 222 energy, I do feel like a lot of the nature of the conversation is going to be either how do we heal the relationship? How do we bring it back together? How do we get a fresh start or a new start to something that we see the value in now and we just sort of like got out of hand or something like that? Or how like it's time to go our separate ways, like we've come to the end of the road. How can we move on from here? How can I move on from this situation and come to some type of resolution or something like that, in terms of a lot of the conversations that may be going on and that we may be having, heart and mind in alignment. Like I was saying earlier, in Sagittarius, this is with the truth, and with Venus, with Venus and Mercury, and now the sun in the sign of Sagittarius, this is also desiring, like a strong desire for freedom and for truth, and being pretty, again, like verbal and articulate about it. This is us saying what's on our mind and how we think and how we feel and what we want specifically and what our preferences. Remember, this is like us after this past several cycles of really being in a place where we're redefining our preferences and reevaluating what we value and what we want and how we want to relate and what we love and what we want to experience and what we want to put our time and money and energy into, and what we expect from the various relationship dynamics and stuff in our lives as a result of this personal evolution that we've been going through, this personal transformation, and how we've been changing, and therefore how we need our relationships and all of that type of stuff to shift it as well. Well, here is the day right here where we are going from one to the other, where we are stepping out of that past energy and we are bridging into the new energy. And so again, even the position of Mercury and Venus together, the mother leads her small child step by step up a stairway. It's like we're ready to take this next step. We are going up to a new level. We are evolving, we are maturing, and we are expressing, and we are talking about our newly defined sense of what we want for ourselves going forward in alignment with these truths, the Sagittarius energy that we have come to over the course of this period of time. So that's really what we're looking at in terms of the energy today. Big emphasis on relationships and finances in terms of what's on our mind, what's on our thoughts, but it's not just relationships and finances. It's the changes that have gone on in our relationships and with our finances and what we want to spend our money on and what we want to relate to and what we value, all that stuff that I just said, and like how we are applying that moving forward. There's a shift going on right now in the fates or the path ahead or the timeline generally. We're like stepping onto a new timeline for ourselves in alignment with this transformation that we've gone through. And we are waving goodbye, you guys, to the things from the past. Transitional day. Transformational day as well. With the moon conjuncting the south node in the sign of Scorpio, yes, we are, if we're, closing out this eclipse season as well, we are definitely letting things go. And tomorrow, there is a big blast of blessings and light that is going to be infused into the collective energetic field, and it's going to be growing throughout the course of the new moon cycle. So, what is leaving your life right now, let it go. Because what is going to be coming in to replace it is going to probably be better than you could have anticipated or expected or wished or imagined. That's sort of what this Jupiter energy, this Sagittarius cycle is indicating. It's kind of like interesting to think about that in the context of like everything and all the like crumbling matrix and the major shifts and transformations that have been going on around us. But it really is indicating some pretty good times to come. So we are going to be optimistic about it. We are heading into Jupiter season in a very big way, and some well-deserved blessings and rewards are going to be coming to us. Let's talk now about the tarot for a minute, what we have going on in terms of our tarot card message. Again, these cards are saying a lot about what's playing out in terms of the astrology. We've got 3 cards coming out of the deck and then the card on the back of the deck. First, we have the 7 of Cups. And then we have the Lovers, you guys, talking about this 222 energy, right? This supreme ultimate 222 day. We're talking about Venus and Mercury in conjunction. That is like exactly Lovers. I mean, the Lovers card is a card ruled by Mercury traditionally, but it also has some very Venetian themes going on there. So very symbolic of where we're at with this Venus-Mercury conjunction that we have going on right now. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune going on as well. You guys are, like I was saying, like the tables are turning, like our fates are changing, the winds are changing direction, the tides are turning in our favor. Like things are going to start going better in the realms of relationships and also in terms of our choices and our decisions. This is actually indicating, what this is telling me is that there's actually like a lot of options that we may be considering. We may be actually like a little bit unsure of what to do at this point in time, but we have the Queen of Wands on the back of the deck also, and what this is telling me is that there's actually, I mean, with the nodes being impacted by the moon today as well, there is like a divine alignment or, a hand of God, like an aspect of fate or destiny that is sort of coming in right now that is bringing in opportunities, that is bringing in connections, that is putting us in the right place at the right time to sort of like reignite the fire that is going on within us, that is bringing us back to life in some type of a way. And that I feel like is going to make it a lot easier for us to make these choices. We may feel right now like we're a little bit confused about what we should do, feeling like we don't have like a clear direction on what to do right now, which also makes sense, you guys, considering that we do have Mars squaring Neptune right now as well. Like that's another aspect and dimension of what we also have going on, because Mercury today is very prominent in the conjunction conjunction with Venus. Mercury is also ruling the position of Mars right now, who is retrograde in the sign of Gemini, squaring Neptune. That also is another reason why I feel like the energy could be sort of bringing people back together where there's been some type of misunderstanding that has caused like a long-standing separation. Or this could also just be putting an emphasis on like issues and people and situations from the past that we hadn't been seeing clearly or that we hadn't been perceiving clearly. But it could also be sort of just putting us in a place where we feel unclear or uncertain about what the best thing is to do, even if maybe we thought we had made our mind up about something. Like we may just be like a little bit overwhelmed or inundated, or feel like we don't have all the information or the perspective that we need in order to make the best judgment, the best choice that we can right now. But the Lovers is also a card of choices and decisions. The Seven of Cups is a card of choices and decisions. But then with the Wheel of Fortune coming in and the Queen of Wands on the back of the deck, this is saying that there is some type, like I was saying, some type of divine alignment or some type of shift or just some type of synchronistic event or something that happens that like re-inspires us in some type of way or helps us to gain like a better perspective, a clearer idea on what it is that we truly want and what decision we're going to make. See, we're talking about the Lovers. Like this is so much this Mercury Venus energy in the conjunction together. The Lovers is a card that is ruled traditionally by Mercury, but it also obviously has some very Venetian themes. So it is, you know, very ironic that we would get the Lovers card coming out when we have this aspect going on today in, you know, the major arcana as well. Something about this Mercury Venus alignment that is going on right now, it is presenting options to us. It is giving us choices, and it is like showing us like different potentials and different possibilities in one way or another that could potentially help us as well to like come back to life or some type of way, or to feel re-inspired or re-empowered as well. With the Queen of Wands in reverse on the back of the deck, it's something about like whatever we're choosing in this energy. And we have to remember, we're also talking about like us coming to this point where we are really gaining a better understanding of what it is that we want, of what it is that we desire. This could also indicate that we are making some very fated choices that are going to like put us back on our feet. I feel like this is indicating actually like some positive momentum, or like making a choice, a decision that is in our best interest in terms of like putting us back in a state of self-empowerment in one way or another. So that's what we got in terms of the tarot message today. Ultimately, I do feel like this is talking about these like divinely aligned connections, opportunities, potentials that we are gaining an awareness of right now, and that are helping us again to like get back on our feet in some type of way. So it does correlate a lot with the astrology right now and us coming to this moment of being ready to really like start transitioning into this new version of ourselves that has been percolating under the surface over this past several cycles. All right, let's grab one more card, you guys. God, Spirit, Universe. What else do we need to know? What is one piece of guidance that can benefit us as we are going through this energy today? Last day of our Scorpio season, final day to like tie up these loose ends and stuff like that. And we have two cards coming out, so we will read both of them. They say, right action and don't abuse your body. So we're going to go with both of these. Okay, right action. And the Lord shall guide thee continually. Isaiah 58:14. Trust God. Know his love is within you. Know God is guiding you, and there are no wrong turns or wrong words or wrong actions. Everything you are doing while holding this knowledge of God in your heart is leading you to your goal. Believe in it. Your goal and success are yours right now, which this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is where we are moving. This is the direction that we are heading. We are going to the Sagittarius season. We are going into this period of time that is trying to bring us this success and these rewards, and we are working towards positive outcomes in regards to our goals and stuff like that as well. And then don't abuse your body, therefore glorify God in your body. 1 Corinthians 6:20. It's wrong to abuse your body. It's one of the holy temples of God. Likewise, austerities, rigidities, and stiffness have no value in spirit to you. Your body is the nest where God dwells, and you should make it a channel for vitality, wholeness, beauty, and perfection. Forgive yourself for the past and get on with a healthy, whole life. So there we have it again. Forgive yourself forgive yourself for the past, you guys. We are stepping out of our old ways of being. We are stepping out of our old world, out of our old reality, out of our old like body, mind, spirit, archetypal selves, and we are coming into this new, stepping up this staircase, right? This more mature, more evolved, more in alignment with our authentic truth, all of this Sagittarius energy selves. And this is the process that is going to be rewarded over this next couple of weeks. And these cards are saying it, believe in it. Your goal and success are yours right now, and forgive yourself for the past and get on with a healthy whole life. That is the advice. Like I said, you know, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, we've got the Lovers out here, the Hand of God at work, bringing opportunities, bringing connections, bringing divine alignments. We've got this major Tuesday 11/22/222 energy going on. We've got the last day of our Scorpio cycle, the last day of our eclipse season, the moon conjuncting the south node. It's a day of release, it's a day of endings, but we've also got the sun moving into the sign of Sagittarius, where, you know, we're going to have our new moon in Sag tomorrow. Jupiter's going to go direct tomorrow in the trine to Jupiter himself. This is this massive infusion of this positive spiritual upliftment. Jupiter's also in his domicile, in his, you know, original sign of rulership. So good things coming, you guys. We are getting off the exit of our old reality and we are going in a whole new direction, and today is the transition period. So there you have it. I hope you guys liked it. Message from the stars, a message from the cards. This is where we're at vibrationally today. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys, share it with your friends if you think they would like this kind of astrology content too. Leave me comments, you guys. I love your comments. I love hearing how this energy is affecting you, what you guys have going on. Thank you so much for being here. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other socials in my description box below if you're into any of that type of stuff. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. I will be here. We are going to have a new moon in Sagittarius to talk about Jupiter direct, to talk about new moon trine Sagittarius, new moon trine Jupiter himself, to talk about. It is going to be a very uplifting video. So if you want some inspiration, if you want some upliftment, if you want some positive vibes, I'll be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you then, everybody. Have a beautiful day. And until tomorrow, you guys. Bye.